What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 11, and this was the season finale today, as well as you wrap up our debut year at Molineux, where as you can see with 2 games to go, there's nothing for us to play for now. Yes, we are locked in 6th, can't finish lower than Everton, who are in 7th but 8 points behind us as we head into the final 2 games. And whilst, mathematically, I suppose if you want to play devil's advocate, there is still a technical chance we could finish in 5th place, which is the official Europa League spot in the game. But of course, due to the goal difference swing, Spurs being so many goals clear, and they need to lose their final game, we need to win both of our remaining games, it's basically not going to happen. So into the 2 games, nothing really to play for, just for pride in our remaining 2. Coming on the back of the comeback of all comeback wins against Manchester United, 3-2 at Old Trafford, we were trailing 2-0. Nothing really to play for as we head into the game at Selhurst Park. In fact, 2 trips to London for our remaining 2 games. First Crystal Palace and then Fulham as well. Palace looking likely they're going to be going down to the Championship for next season, taking on Roy Hodgson's side here. I suppose the only thing to play for was not for the team, but for the player. We went 2 goals up inside the first half an hour, where Raul Jimenez is still chasing the Golden Boot. I believe he's about 5 or 6 goals behind right now in 2nd place, aiming to win it this year. And he scored 2 goals in the first half an hour as we went 2-0 up. And right before the break, we should have made it 3-0. Daniel Podence, what a ball to the centre. And Ruben Neves sadly failed to make clean connection and put it wide of the post. So it's still leading by 2, but in the first half we were looking at a far better team, much stronger than Crystal Palace. Unsurprising right now with them surely going down to the Championship. And early on into the second half, Raul Jimenez would get his 2nd hat-trick of the season and make it 3-0. Little chip into the centre, a Paulo Di Canio-esque scissor kick into the back of the net, and the Mexican many goals behind in the race to the Golden Boot, but not giving up in his pursuit of it. Makes it 3-0, bags his hat-trick, he'll get the match ball, as we were surely going to get the 3 points, and with 10 minutes to go, a chance to make it 4. Fabio Silva sent down the right-hand side by Luke Mattison. Nice ball into Jimenez, quick little flick to Ferreira on loan off the bench, and I just had to do it. I know that Ferreira could have got his first goal for the club on loan, but I need to get a goal for Jimenez, and he went straight to the ball to pick it up and say, come on lads, I know we've won this game, it's now 4-0, I've scored all 4, but I want another goal, I want to keep on scoring, I want this Golden Boot. So Crystal Palace 0, Wolves 4. Unfortunately, at the other end of the pitch, Patricio is going for the Golden Glove, but he would miss out on a clean sheet with Michy Batshuayi making it 4-1 in the final stage of the game to ruin our clean sheet. I've talked about it before, it's always so frustrating when you're closing out what is a cert win and you've not been under pressure all game long, and then you concede right at the end with, ordinarily always seems to be this way, the only shot on target against you. That's exactly what happened in that game. Batshuayi, the Belgian, making it 1-1 as Palace found their leveller. Found their consolation goal, as we still won the game 4-1, so it didn't really matter to the game or to the league standings either. Final game heading to the season, Crystal Palace are officially relegated, 6 points behind Leeds, and of course we can't catch Spurs on the goal difference swing realistically. And heading into the final day as well against Fulham at Craven Cottage, you can see the race of the Golden Boot right now. Mo Salah does lead the way with 25 goals. Raul Jimenez is right behind him with 23, so the Mexican could win it on the final day. Sergio Aguero, interestingly enough, has more assists than anyone else in the Premier League this season. However, Adama Traore is only 2 assists behind him, so he could end up top of the assist charts come the end of the season. And as for Rui Patricio, he's 1 clean sheet away from winning the Golden Glove, which of course he would have won had we kept a clean sheet against Crystal Palace. So 3 of our players could win awards come the end of the season. Well, there's no award for the most amount of assists, although there should be, in my opinion. But either way, 3 of our players could win awards come the end of the campaign. But taking on Fulham for the final game of the season, nothing to play for Fulham. They're guaranteed safety heading into the final day. Unfortunately for Patricio, he would not get yet another clean sheet to add to his growing collection this season. Jean-Michael Seri gave Fulham a very early lead, and what a goal it was as well. I've talked about it this season. I really feel chip shots are very OP. They're so accurate, and that was absolutely glorious. Dinkdo Patricio into the back of the net, past chasing Ferro as Fulham took a very early lead in the game. And 41 minutes in, trying to get ourselves back on level terms here, Daniel Podence slides into the path of João Moutinho, who might be playing his final game for the club. He feeds Traore into Jimenez, through to Sanchez, nice little ball through to Daniel Podence, and our number 10 smacks it in to put us back on level terms right before the break. I've got to be honest, he's been pretty disappointing this year, Podence. He scored a couple of goals, he's got a couple of assists, but for the most part his productivity productivity has been really poor, and the lowest out of our front three of him, Traore and Jimenez as well. Regardless, he finds our leveller as we're back on level terms and just past the hour mark, still tied at 1-1, going for the goal to get us back in front here. Moutinho finds Renato Sanchez, takes it in his path, feeds through Raul Jimenez with the through ball, and the Mexican chips it off the post and behind for a goal kick. So close to putting us in front for the first time in the game and getting goal number 24 for the season, but still tied at 1-1, minutes to go in the game. It looked like we would slip up on the final day. Not that it really counted for anything, to be honest, but with seconds on the clock, Daniel Podence gets the assist for the game winner, and the guy that scores it, of course, Raul Jimenez, finally gets a goal on the final day. But of course it would not be enough, as you could tell by his muted, or kind of muted, celebration as well. Fabricio beaten right in the dying stage there. Traore across the middle, Podence flicks it inside, and Jimenez from close range was not going to miss. So final score, Fulham 1, Wolves 2. For the second game in 3, we come from behind to win it, but of course it counts for completely nothing on the final day whatsoever. In order to have any chance of finishing in 5th place, we had to win and Spurs had to lose, and there had to be a goal difference swing, a massive goal difference swing as well. That was never going to happen, so really the result means nothing to either teams, but it was still nice to end on a win, I suppose, and an unbeaten stretch of 4 to close out the campaign as well. So final score 2-1. This is how the eventual Premier League table ends up looking. Manchester City crowned champions, 3 points clear of Liverpool. They almost choked it in the second half of the season, but they do reclaim their crown, with Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester United going into the Champions League next season. Spurs and us are guaranteed to be playing Europa League football, as Everton finish in 7th and will have Europa League football if Southampton don't beat Liverpool in the FA Cup final, and Sheffield United, Crystal Palace and West Brom are heading to the Championship. Mo Salah did hold off Raul Jimenez to win the Golden Boot by a single goal. So disappointing the Mexican couldn't grab it right towards the end of the season there, as Sanchez also got into the top 25 as well, in 18th place in the top scorer charts. Sergio Aguero had more assists than anyone else this year with 13. Traore and Sanchez had 10 apiece this season though. That was really impressive, and Jimenez had 6 himself as well. And look at this, 3 goalkeepers ended up with 19 clean sheets in 38 games. Hugo Lloris, Rui Patricio and Ederson. And answered on a postcard, how is that determined who wins the Golden Glove? Because it went to Hugo Lloris, as Renato Sanchez won Player of the Premier League this year as well. But it went to Hugo Lloris, but he, Ederson and Patricio had got the same amount of clean sheets and played the same amount of games. So I don't understand that. Regardless, as of the Cups this year, Liverpool won a domestic double, winning the Carabao Cup and beating Southampton in the FA Cup final. So it will indeed be Everton joining us in the Europa League next year. Real Sociedad beat Arsenal in the Europa League final this season, and Bayern Munich became one of the very few teams to retain a Champions League, beating Real Madrid by 2-1 in the final, beating Liverpool in the semis, as Real Madrid knocked out Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus in the semis. So Bayern Munich Champions League winners, Sociedad Europa League winners, and Liverpool domestic cup winners in England this year. And as for us, whilst there was no silverware come the end of the campaign, I would still call this a very successful first season at Molineux. The board gave us a very low expectation of finishing in mid-table in the Premier League. And of course, whilst 5th is the only official Europa League spot according to the game, as we know 6th and 7th can provide it, and they did this season. So we finished in the Europa League spot this year, exceeding our Premier League objective. And as for the FA Cup, they asked us to reach the semi-finals, which of course we did as well. Obviously the Europa League, I know I kind of messed up with that at the start of the season, but that objective, obviously we can just forget all about that, because we said reach the final, but of course we forfeit the competition due to playing this career mode realistically. So in the end, domestically, very successful first season. I thought the signings were great. Renato Sanchez in particular, the best of the 3, 12 goals and 12 assists in 40 games as well. Gaza, a solid backup goalkeeper, and Ferro was pretty decent as well, growing by 2 ratings too. Again, I thought Podence was slightly disappointing this season as part of our front 3. Traore looked better on the left-hand side than the right-hand side, I felt. And as for Raul Jimenez, in my opinion, our player of the season, 24 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League this campaign, on his way to finishing runner-up in the race for the Golden Boot. It's going to be hard to keep him at Molineux heading in to season 2. He might be 30 years old now and not growing anymore, but he is still a lethal striker. But I will end the season finale and our first season of the realistic career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching season 1. I really hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and we'll return in the very next episode with the start of season 2, where Wolves, for definite, will be playing Europa League football and aiming to break into the top 4 and possibly win a trophy as well very soon.